Before the councils, the courts, even their own kin, he warned them plainly. Hatred would come for his name. Yet he promised, whoever endures to the end shall be saved. At that time, Jesus said to his apostles, "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up in councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and before kings, for my sake, for a testimony to them and to the Gentiles. But when they shall deliver you up, take no thought how or what to speak, for it shall be given you in that hour what to speak. For it is not you that speak, but the Spirit of your Father that speaketh in you. The brother also shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father, the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and shall put them to death. And you shall be hated by all men for my name's sake. But he that shall persevere unto the end, he shall be saved." These words were not spoken for one age alone. 19 centuries later, on Korean soil, a young priest named Andrew Kim would live the and die faithful to the end. Jesus speaks here of two courts his apostles would face. The first is the council, the Sanhedrin, the local Jewish tribunal governing every town. The second warning names governors and kings, the Roman rulers and client monarchs who held the power of execution. The Jewish courts did not. Notice the place named for punishment, the synagogue. In 1st century Judea, it was not only a house of prayer but a local courthouse. To be scourged there meant condemnation by one's own religious community in the very building where one had worshipped. Jesus also foretells betrayal within the household, brother against brother, father against child. In a society bound by kinship and clan loyalty, where family was one's entire security, this was the deepest rupture imaginable. Why would Christ open his apostles' mission by promising suffering? St. Chrysostom offers 3 reasons drawn directly from this very passage. First, to prove Christ possessed true foreknowledge. Second, so the apostles would not blame their trials on any weakness in their master. And when persecution finally came, Peter did not lose heart. Forewarned by his master, he stood firm before those who accused him. "You shall be brought before councils," Christ foretold, and here Peter stands before that very tribunal. Yet Christ's comfort in verse 19 answers him. "You engage in the conflict, I will fight. You speak, but I will tell you what you ought to say." The apostle is not abandoned to his own eloquence. The Spirit of the Father speaks within him. On the final verse, Haydock is sober. It is not enough to have once been virtuous. We must persevere to the very end. As St. Chrysostom asks, what use are seeds that flourish at first, but soon wither and die? This warning was never sealed in the 1st century. Consider Andrew Kim Taegån, who, in 1845, became the first Korean-born Catholic priest. Within a year, he stood before magistrates demanding he renounce his faith, was tortured, and at 25 was beheaded near Seoul. From his prison cell, awaiting death, he wrote not of fear but of endurance, urging his people to remain faithful to the end. The words of Christ had crossed 19 centuries and found their fulfillment in him. Few of us will face such a tribunal. But each of us knows a quieter version. The relative who turns cold, the room that falls silent, the pressure to stay quiet. Lord, give me the words in that hour. Let me not merely begin well, but persevere unto the very end. Amen.